Do you want to create more peace in your life and less stress? Let me guide you on that journey. I'm Michele Thill with Newland Wellness, and this is for women on their own for the first time at over 50. And today I'd like to talk about, as I've been talking about, the stress, the chaos that's going outside in the world. And you may be feeling it also in your personal world as well. And instead of getting all stressed out over it, how do we bring more peace into it? I want to share with you today what I was sharing in the meeting that I held last night for our community in Newby. Newby is all about a new way to be. And I want to share a few thoughts and tips to help you that I shared with the group in greater detail in the meeting, but I want to share with you now to give you an idea. Newby is about a new way to be. And I feel in times that we are in, like now, like since 2020, when the normal we were used to started changing, what if this is a wake-up call for a new way to be? Instead of feeling hopeless, bring in some hope and take control over what you have control over yourself. The thought popped into my head yesterday, 2 words, and how changing the vibration in them can be a game changer. The word first is now what? Just saying that, now what? Now what's gonna happen? Now what's today gonna bring? Boy, doesn't that just feel like a drain right there? The fear right there. What if you took that now what and made it into what now? And looked at what's happening as a witness and with curiosity. Now, I'm in no way political. I'm being metaphysical because we can't control what's happening in our government and in our world right now. But we can stop looking at now what and start thinking what now. As I've shared with my grown kids who, are experiencing, you and I, we've been through some crazy times throughout our lives, or heard about the chaos from times of our family members. Though I was very young, I can only imagine what it was like for my family when they found out my uncle was drafted in Vietnam, 17 years old, taken from his home to fight for our country in a war that we, ended up losing. And the shame that he felt when I heard about when he came back from his time there on a cause that he didn't want to serve, and was being called a baby killer and was being spit at and looked down on. So I think about some of the times that our family has been through. Maybe you've been through some of this yourself. And our kids have not seen all of this. So I was sharing with them, if you step back and observe, we are living in historic times. We are living in times that they'll probably be learning about in school, history-making times. And again, I'm not political. I'm being metaphysical. Take the judgment out and be the observer. Why? Because what are you gonna do that's gonna make a difference except bring more peace into your life instead of less stress. The world doesn't need you or anyone else being more stressed, right? What if you started tapping into more love and peace, and therefore started helping the younger generation in your life and your family and friends and even just your community? Breathe a little bit, relax a little bit. You know, be kind to people, smile, hold the door. Realize if somebody is really amped up, that it's not about you, even though it could be directed towards you or seem like it is, but that they're just scared and hurting. Could you be that bigger source and light? Because ultimately it's helping you bring in peace. So I gave in the meeting yesterday 5 tips or 5 steps on how to go from now what to what now. And I want to share 3 of them with you today. The first one is anchor yourself in what you can control. You know, in these uncertain times, one thing you can do is focus on what you can control, which, as I've shared many times, is only you and how you handle things. Your perspective, the meaning you give to things. Do you react as you always have because you're triggered? Do you act in a new way because you're getting a bigger picture of things? So you could ask yourself every day, what do I have control over today? You have control over your routines and your habits. You have control over your thoughts, believe it or not, and directing them in a more positive light, and not a toxic positivity, but maybe more optimism that, you know, I don't know how, but ultimately everything is going to work itself out. You also have control over how much social media and news you consume or you limit, and your personal values and your actions. When you start focusing on this, you feel more peace because you realize you're not helpless in what seems like out of control circumstances, that you have more control than you realize. And again, it's over you and how you could influence others by being that example of more light and peace instead of stress and fear. The second one is to set boundaries on media and negativity in general. You know, if you love to be on, say, social media, then look for more uplifting, inspiring things that will make you laugh, things that will make you think better thoughts, things that will give you hope and help during this time and bring in more peace. Limit how often you're going to check what's going on in the news. You know, I find like on my social media, I have friends, if you will, social media friends that are on both sides of the aisle. And I just kind of sit there again as a witness. Look at this view. Look at that view. And I don't let it aggravate me. I let it fascinate me because I can't change anything or anyone. Why let it work me up? What is that going to do for anyone, right? I'm encouraging you to do the same. Maybe be even more tech-free. You know, I find I don't turn on the TV as much as I once did. I'm not saying ignore what's happening out there. I'm just saying limit your exposure, because right now it's just so ugly, and it's not helping to just keep consuming that ugliness. It affects your stress levels, it affects your body, it affects your immune system, it affects your heart and your blood pressure, and it's not going to help you to keep taking it all in. So stand back more. The third and last one I want to share is stay rooted in your personal values. So all this negativity can really be draining and exhausting you. What if you came from a place instead of asking, what type of person do I want to be during these times? Think about that. What type of person do you want to be during these times? Do you want to be someone who's rooted more in calm than fear? Do you want to be someone who engages in more community support and helping in some way instead of just feeling helpless? Do you want to stand for kindness and compassion and unity amongst all the division? Who do you choose to be during these times? Because you have a choice, and you can make that choice and live by it. I want to leave you with one last thought that I heard from Mike Dooley. I don't feel he was looking to be political either. I feel he was being metaphysical. And he shared this: what if collectively we need to stumble and fall to find a better path? What's happening right now is stressful and scary. But we also know, if we're being truthful, that what we've been through other times haven't necessarily been working either. There's a lot of flaws in our system. And again, not being political, but being metaphysical. What if this ends up opening up things that ultimately make things better, though we have no idea how or when? What if you adopted that all this chaos could be leading us to a better path? And take that theme and run with it. Let that bring you some peace and some calm during this time, because we're in these times. I hear the metaphysical teacher say we've signed up for these times, to be here in these times, to help bring more love and life, if we choose to bring that love and light into these times. I choose to. How about you? If you like what you hear, if I resonate with you, please like and follow, subscribe. And if you're interested, I always put the link for Newbie in the show notes, if you will. Check it out. You might find that it might be a place where it would bring you more peace. And we would love to have you join us if you so choose. I look forward to being with you. I'll be back next week. Until then, you be well.